the Great British Manufacturing Podcast, brought to you by MTD, MFG and Jefferson.
Hello and welcome to the Great British Manufacturing Podcast. On this week's show, we will review the latest positive news from the British manufacturing sector, including the likes of Wren Kitchen, Airbus and the Tempest programme, plus much, much more. We also welcome a special guest, Katy Davies, Managing Director of CamdenBoss, a world-leading manufacturer of electromechanical components and enclosures. My name is Joe Reynolds, and joining me today is not Stuart Whitehead, but MTD MFG manufacturing advocate Will Watson. Will, Stu's taking a well-earned break. You're in the hot seat. Welcome.
Thank you, Joe. It's good to be here for a week.
Right, let's jump straight into the positive news from the sector. Rivian in talks of building a new factory here in the UK, and it's quite some factory, isn't it? If it comes off, it'd be a game changer.
Absolutely, Joe. Rivian is reportedly in talks with the government about building a new electric vehicle manufacturing plant. It will be the first outside the US for the company at the 616-acre Gravity campus in Somerset. According to reports, any investment by the California-based manufacturer, which counts Amazon and Ford amongst its shareholders, is likely to exceed £1 billion. But Rivian is not the only company mulling a factory in the UK. In May, Tesla boss Elon Musk flew into Britain on a private jet, fueling rumours he is still considering opening a facility in the country. Speculation over the UK Tesla factory started in 2020 after the US tycoon reportedly flew into the UK to visit a number of sites, including the same one in Somerset that Rivian is reported to be eyeing up, amid a potential plans to build a 90-acre electric car plant.
Yeah, it'd be bonkers, wouldn't it? It'd be nice to have them both, wouldn't it? We'll squeeze them in somewhere.
Yeah.
Whilst we're on the automotive theme, we've talked about Envision before and their plant up in Sunderland, but plans have gone in this week, haven't they?
Yep, so Nissan and their battery partner Envision AESC have submitted plans for a new £450 million gigafactory in Sunderland, as you say. Last month, they unveiled plans to create thousands of new jobs in the region through the production of a new model electric vehicle and the creation of a new battery plant. Subject to planning permission, the new factory will create 750 jobs and safeguard a further 300 jobs from its existing Sunderland plant. Construction is due to begin in 2022, with production to commence in 2024.
Yeah, just, again, fantastic news for that region.
Definitely.
And Wren Kitchens, they're set to create a lot of jobs as well. There's obviously a lot of kitchens being bought. I've actually just bought a Wren Kitchen, so maybe one of them jobs is because of me, maybe.
Nice one. Yes, I see their vans and lorries all over the place at the moment, so they're definitely going places. But Wren Kitchens, the leading independent kitchen manufacturer, is opening Europe's largest quartz worktop processing centre this month, which will create up to 300 new jobs in North Lincolnshire. The new 150,000 square foot site has already begun fabricating stone quartz worktops and will be operating at full capacity by December. In addition to this facility, Wren is currently building a new £120 million kitchen manufacturing and assembly facility at its headquarters in Barton-upon-Humber, which is expected to create 900 jobs when it opens next summer.
It does make me wonder where all these kitchens go, but well done, Wren Kitchen, continuing to invest here in the UK. But we'll take a break there, Will, if we may. I'd like to introduce this week's special guest, Katy Davies, the Managing Director of CamdenBoss. Katy, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for having me. It's a delight to be here.
More than welcome. So when we start these, we like to find out a little bit about you and your current role and responsibilities, really, if that's possible.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, my name's Katy Davies. As you rightly said, I'm the Managing Director of CamdenBoss. I've been in the role since the 29th of March last year, so stepped into the breach a week after Boris announced lockdown, which was quite exciting, quite an interesting time to take over as MD. But actually, on reflection, it's actually been quite helpful. It cut out the normal fluff of starting a new role. Definitely a good way to see see the strengths and weaknesses of the business, when it's put under challenge, and get to know everybody very quickly. So it's been a roller coaster of an 18 months. A little bit about me. By background, I'm an accountant. So I spent many years working in the owner-managed business section of the Deloitte office in Cambridge. Dealing with all sorts of businesses, but again, all kind of privately owned, quite a lot in manufacturing and quite a lot in food production. So, obviously not unrelated. And then spent a big chunk of time, so the last 7 years at the Marshall Group in Cambridge. So it's a big group of companies, again, dealing with kind of aerospace and defence, so another sort of manufacturing and MRO type business. where I just had an absolute ball. It was a great company to work for, had a great time. So learned an awful lot. And in my kind of last couple of years there, I had the opportunity to move out of finance and into operations, just fell in love with it. So got stuck into kind of transformation projects, continuous improvement and lean. And that's probably where I completely fell in love with manufacturing. And yeah, this role came up as an opportunity. Thought it absolutely ticked the boxes. And I couldn't be more delighted to be here.
Yeah, no, it's a very illustrious career. Well done. And can you give us a brief overview about the company now, please?
Of course I can. Yeah, so we're CamdenBoss, and we are the UK's leading manufacturer of electromechanical components, connectors and plastic enclosures. So that's largely aimed at the electronics market rather than the electrical market. But again, that's not to say that won't change in our future strategy. So we currently employ about 110 people, and we're based in Mildenhall in Suffolk. So we've just moved site. So on the 1st of June, we consolidated our 2 sites. So previously we had half the staff based at Thetford, about 12 miles away up the road, and then the other half of the staff in Mildenhall, and we literally just moved next door. We've moved into a new building that's about 4 times our previous footprint, so we're definitely putting our stake in the ground for where our intentions are. So yeah, in terms of kind of what capabilities we have, obviously giving you a quick tour around the building without actually being here, we've got a large kind of distribution warehouse. So a lot of our customers, our biggest customers are distributors. So we have a kind of a pretty well wrapped out warehouse facility here to hold that intelligent stock holding. We have a pretty large machine shop. So we have 11 CNC machines. We also have some back casting machinery, 3D printing and other things. So the CNCs are largely kind of involved with customizations of boxes. So part of our business in dealing with electronic enclosures, it's all plastic manufacture, plastic and die cast predominantly. A lot of those are injection molded. Again, we moved our tooling back from China a couple of years ago, and in terms of kind of the current climate and what we're seeing in terms of customer demand, definitely the right thing to do. So it's validated that strategy. So our CNC machines will customize those, put custom holes in. And another part of our business deals with flat sheet plastic, more custom enclosures for people. So we do anything from kind of EV charging units through to just simple 2U shell boxes to hold kind of sensor tech or any kind of precious technology. So again, our enclosures can be IP rated. They can be very heavily IP rated. We're pretty smart in terms of material selection to make sure that the box, the clever tech that our customers have spent all their time and effort designing is kept safe, clean, secure, and ultimately looks nice because it is the wrapper that goes to market and is on show representing that brand's goods. Then moving around our factory, we've then got an assembly area where we've got the guys and girls kind of putting things together. So again, for that flat sheet electrical enclosure, they're bending the plastic, they're gluing, they're kind of sealing and bonding. And then we have a digital print facility. So we've got 3 pretty decent sized digital printers that can add anything from just straightforward CE marking, and compliance type print onto customers' products, all the way through to very ritzy, amazing artwork. So we've done some great guitar stomp boxes for a company up in Liverpool called SoundLab. They look amazing, and it's really good to see that different throughput. And I guess for me and for the staff here, it's about seeing what it may look like a very straightforward plastic box, but actually when it leaves us, it's off to do something pretty incredible, and to kind of help our customers deliver their tech out into the market.
Hi there, Katie, and welcome to the podcast. Can you tell us any recent investment and maybe tell the audience about the new facility in Mildenhall, please?
Yeah, no worries. So that has been our recent big investment. So we are part of a privately owned group, and the group have purchased the building for us to inhabit here in Mildenhall. So yeah, that's been a pretty big mission to get us moved and to get the new building specced up, and it hasn't been occupied for a little while, so we've had a brilliant opportunity to start with a pretty blank canvas. So yeah, we've invested quite heavily into this new building, and it's really like I mentioned at the start of this, it's us putting our stake in the ground. Really, we have some pretty lofty ambitions, and we've got some amazing people in our team, and we've got some great capabilities, and we've got some really exciting customers who are on a similar kind of growth trajectory. So this building really unlocks for us the ability to make future investments. So looking at our capabilities that we already have, how can we enhance those, how can we improve those, how can we do what we do but better, to deliver a good outcome to our customers, but also what other capabilities are there that we don't have that we'd like to bring in house. So again, it's another the kind of stake in the ground. It's also allowed us the ability to look at our kind of office space as well, and our kind of non-production spaces for our workforce. So we've tried to go quite heavy on the kind of well-being angle of our workplace to make sure it really is a place where people like to come to work, and feel happy, comfortable, and ultimately productive working here. So it's been a brilliant opportunity for us to kind of bring two teams together and really make some strides.
Okay, thanks for that, Katie. It's great to hear about your new place. To CamdenBoss, how important is it to manufacture in the UK?
Oh, really, really important. So again, dealing with the plastics industry, like a lot of other people, as we're now finding from the current kind of global trading climate, we a few years ago moved our kind of a lot of our moulding out to China. The company probably two maybe 3 years ago took the decision to start repatriating that tooling, particularly for the enclosures. So most of our enclosures are now moulded in the UK, and again, the current climate has really validated that. We've got, obviously, like everybody else in every other industry in manufacturing, we've got material challenges, our customers have got supply challenges, and we're trying everything that we can to obviously help with that. I think it's really refocused the UK kind of priority list, I guess, to having that surety of supply. We've got customers that like the fact that if they have a question or they want to come and look at a design or change up a design or do something, they can physically visit us. Obviously, COVID has interrupted that, but I think it's kind of refocused that kind of criterion on supply chain checklists to have a local manufacturer. So for us, it feels like something we were already very invested in. Again, like the commitment to this building in Mildenhall has shown that it's very important for us to have a strong footprint here. And to, I'm a very proud employer in the local market. We've got some great people here, and it's amazing to see what we can do. So I think it's absolutely critical. I think it's really important to us as CamdenBoss. I think it should be really important to manufacturing as a whole. And I know that there's a lot of chat going around on kind of social media about, actually, has the government got enough focus on the importance of manufacturing in the UK nowadays? Are we seeing that in the policies that we've got? It needs to be at the forefront of the levelling up agenda. And I think I completely back that. I think manufacturing has been slightly forgotten in the UK. Personally, I've seen that, even with kind of people's reactions to the fact that my workforce were coming in during the pandemic. And you realise just how quickly a lot of, even my kind of former peers and colleagues have forgotten that we still manufacture stuff in the UK. And I look at the clusters of amazing small businesses that we've got around the Mildenhall Thetford patch, and we're doing some amazing things. And I think people have just forgotten about that. So I think it's really our time as UK manufacturing to kind of fly the flag and really show off what we're capable of doing.
Sounds good. I've seen that one of the products that you do make is a Raspberry Pi enclosure, which as a tinkerer, I'm pretty excited about. But could you tell us about the typical markets and industries you supply to?
Yeah, sure. So as a tinkerer, we'll have to sort you out with some boxes. I think, even my brother, actually, he's a great tinkerer. And I think I had a sneaky sales angle last time. I was like, we should just, for the garage enthusiasts, that is the sales angle of legitimise your projects. Because as soon as you put it in an enclosure, it looks like a pucker thing. And then it won't get thrown away by the kids or wife. It's fine. So, a lot of our enclosures do have kind of, I think most of our enclosures actually have standard fittings for Raspberry Pi, or at least we try to put that in going forward, because it's just such an amazing space that is just so full of amazing opportunities. So we can sort that well. In terms of markets, we definitely aimed at the electronics market rather than electrical. So that's where our focus has been. And I think at the moment what we're really seeing is a real surge in industrial Internet of Things related customers. So a real focus on sensor technology, be it monitoring air quality levels, be it monitoring human proximity. We've even had customers inquiring into some of our products for kind of care homes to use sensor tech to kind of bolster where we're struggling at the moment in terms of the UK employment market with caring resource. So if they can have a sensor in an enclosure on a wall, it can monitor if there's been a lack of movement from the occupant in normal moving hours. It's amazing to see what our customers are coming up with in terms of their kind of future space. obviously, there's always amazing demand for terminal blocks and connectors, and again, the more that we're seeing production generally in the UK ramp up, the more we're seeing for that. And again, that goes into all sorts of applications. And I think, with our flat sheet customers, we've always been market agnostic, I guess, or sector agnostic. And I think the pandemic really showed the value of that, because, actually, if you do, the kind of chief customers that were really going to fly last year got really hit quite hard by the pandemic. So they're coming to fruition now. But actually, in the meantime, anything medical, anything to do with kind of working from home, and again, more sensor tech has really taken off. So it's a fascinating time to see what's moving and shaking.
Yeah, so that's fascinating, Katie. So it's pretty broad, it's fair to say. In terms of future projects, future ambitions for CamdenBoss, what are they? I'm guessing the EV, the electrical charger markets, that must be exciting for you. But is there anything else?
Oh, yeah, of course. I keep saying to my team when I get asked this question, I'm like, well, domination, obviously. Why would it not be? That's what we're here for. So, yeah, obviously world domination. But what that actually looks like, we've got some great customers in the EV market that we're supporting, and it's great being on that journey with them, because we've been through, I forgot to mention my design team, they'll kill me. So we've got a really strong design team who have been through that prototyping pain with a lot of these customers, and it's great for us to kind of feel part of that customer's journey as they're now kind of hitting their stride. So again, the EV market is just flying at the minute. Internet of Things generally, and particularly in the industrial setting, is just really motoring. So for us, we've had some really good and really successful product launches in the last 12 months. So one of which has been the Hex box, which is just awesome. It just looks great. It's really hit a sweet spot in the market. It is a hexagonal shape, which is just quite novel, but actually the applications that has kind of opened up, just looking at the walls here in terms of a different shape that you can tessellate, it's been really, really interesting. So we our kind of ethos with our new product development is around kind of really finding what the USPs are for our customers and getting that really rich voice of the customer involved in that product selection to make sure that we're really helping people with their solutions. Again, often with our customers, they're doing the interesting bit on the inside of the box. They're developing incredible tech all the time. We're here to take the problem of how to wrap that and keep it safe off their hands, because they don't really want to be an expert in injection molded plastic as well as, amazing sensors. So yeah, we've got some really exciting products in our pipeline in terms of product launches. Again, across kind of all of our product ranges, really, to just look at what those really sweet spots are in terms of what our customers need from us. So again, even down to having a focus on making sure that they're kind of Raspberry Pi compatible as standard, or at least as a Raspberry Pi option, just to make sure that we've got those standard fixings in there, and looking at kind of common PCB sizes and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, we've got a really exciting pipeline. I can't go into more detail or I'll get shot again by the design team.
Carry on. No, carry on.
No, stop me or I'll keep talking forever. And obviously, looking at, we're constantly revisiting. Now we've moved, we're constantly revisiting the layout of the factory here. So, what is the best use of our space? What is the best intelligent stock holding for our customers, especially looking at the kind of distribution market and where that's moving. But also in terms of those capabilities. Yeah, what are we currently missing that actually our customers really benefit from, and that we can really do well and that will complement our current offering. So yeah, it's a really, really exciting time to be.
It sounds a great company, sounds really, really exciting. We'll have to come down and see it, in face to face, really. But thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Katie. It's been an education. Learned a lot about you, a lot about the company, and yeah, hopefully catch up soon.
Perfect. Well, you're always welcome to come visit. Yeah, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on.
So, Will, great interview. Great to catch up with Katie.
It is, yeah, and it's great to hear about their new investments and the new facility as well.
Yeah, fantastic. So for people listening to this podcast and and you want to come on it, please feel free to reach out to us, podcast@mtdmfg.com. We're also really easy to find on social media. And also, finally, please do download the MTD MFG app for exclusive content. It doesn't take much finding. It's on all the usual platforms, whether you're iPhone or Android. And yeah, back on with the positive manufacturing news. The Tempest programme, they've secured an additional £250 million worth of funding, massive for the UK aerospace and defence sector.
Yep, a huge amount. So the Ministry of Defence has awarded contract worth approximately £250 million to progress the design and development of Tempest, the UK's future combat air system. The contract signed by BAE Systems officially marks the start of the programme's concept and assessment phase. Recent research conducted by PwC indicates the Tempest programme will make an estimated £26.2 billion contribution to the UK economy and will support an average of 21,000 jobs a year.
Yeah, it's great news. Obviously, the headline figures are great there in terms of the 250 million, the funding, the ongoing investment in that program. But obviously, it secures jobs, and obviously, it's the Tempest program. It's important that it's made in this country. But if we move on to the next one, Forterra, they've announced plans, to upgrade their brick factory.
Yeah, building products manufacturer Forterra is to invest £27 million upgrading its brick factory in Wilmcote, Staffordshire. The investment will see a modernisation of the facility, which has been in operation for 30 years, bringing it up to current standards of efficiency and sustainability. With an expected product output boost of 20%, the redevelopment project will include a new kiln, dryers and handling equipment installed and will allow the factory to create a wider array of high-quality brick products, including increasing production of the famous Staffordshire blue brick. Forterra is also currently working on a £95 million project to transform its Desford site in Leicestershire into the largest and most energy-efficient brick factory in Europe, doubling its capacity to 180 million bricks annually.
Just astonishing, isn't it? It's a lot of bricks. Then again, we need to build a lot of houses, so it's great news. So Airbus, obviously challenging times for the aerospace sector, but they've opened a new £35 million space and defence headquarters here in the UK. What can you tell us about this, Will?
Yep, Airbus's new £35 million UK space and defence headquarters in Stevenage has been officially opened by the Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The new headquarters, Orbit House, will be home to 500 space engineers and experts and underlines Airbus' continued investment in British space capability. Airbus is the UK's largest space company with turnover in excess of £1 billion and makes up over 70% of the UK space industry. Airbus's UK-based engineers have played a critical role in a range of the most significant space programs of recent years. The firm has designed and built Solar Orbiter, which is currently on a mission to the Sun, as well as the European Space Agency's ExoMars rover, which is due to launch in 2022. Each year, which I didn't know this and it's astonishing, Airbus spends in excess of £4 billion with UK suppliers supporting a supply chain comprising of more than 2,000 companies, ranging from large primes like Rolls-Royce and GKN to hundreds of SMEs.
That's astonishing. I knew it was a significant amount, but that is absolutely astonishing. Yeah, no, we need it, and hopefully there's more off the back of the space and defence programme. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what I love about this podcast. We've talked about kitchens, talked about bricks, talked about aerospace, space and defence. We're now going to talk about Chocolat, one of my favourites. Hotel Chocolat, they've launched a major recruitment drive.
They have, and I think you might be in part due to this major recruitment drive, Joe. I've heard you like a chocolate bar or two. British chocolatier Hotel Chocolat is creating 140 manufacturing jobs to support major expansion of its production facility in Huntingdon. The firm plans to more than quadruple the size of the Cambridgeshire site by 2026 to meet soaring demand.
Yeah, my household must be at least one of those jobs is because of my household. So I take great pride in that, Will.
There you go.
But just a final one. We always like to finish up with some data if we can. Very positive news from the latest PMI figures again. It seems to be month-on-month growth at the moment.
Yep, British factory output grew among the fastest rates in history last month. The UK manufacturing PMI reading for July was 60.4, the 14th consecutive month of growth. However, there's still challenges for the industry, partly because of this continuing growth. The cost of materials has been soaring as demand increases to match the necessary output. Problems in supply chains around the world has also put pressure on the price of many items.
Yeah, it's absolutely, there's challenges, but the trend is uphill. So long may it continue. Well, it's been great to have you on the podcast. Appreciate you stepping in for Stuart. Katy Davies, the Managing Director of CamdenBoss. It's been fantastic to have you on as well. So many thanks. But as always, the biggest thank you goes to you guys at home for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Great British Manufacturing Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a rating and a review. You can find us on Twitter using @MTDMFG and @Jefferson_MFG.